Hey, community. Before we get into this episode, on behalf of the aunties, we just want to send our love and prayers and thoughts and condolences and all the above to the community out in Colorado Springs. The senseless shootings is insanity. We purposely didn't want to dive too deep into this particular episode to kind of give folks a moment of reprieve, but it doesn't mean we're not thinking and it's not top of mind for us. So, without further ado, here's the newest episode of Minority Report.
Hey, aunties. It's everyone's favorite Uncle Jason Veasey from Broadway's A Strange Loop, here to see what's brewing today.
A Strange Loop's Jason Veasey.
American Music Awards.
And ask your aunties, DILF. So get your cups ready for Minority Report. Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntie Carell.
It's Auntie Duan.
It's Auntie Landon.
Hey, and I am super excited for this episode. Ever since we saw this play, we were like, we gotta get them all on here somehow.
Right now.
Because it was the most incredible thing I've seen in a long ass time.
Long time.
Literally. So without further ado, we have from the Grammy nominated, the Pulitzer Prize winning, the Tony winning play A Strange Loop, Jason Veasey. Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And he's kind to do this on like his little break in between shows today. She's booked, busy, and blessed, and said, "Okay, I'll give y'all a couple moments, between the shows." So we appreciate that because that's a long day for you, boo.
Booked, busy, blessed, tired, broken, and stressed.
All the above. I know
it ain't easy. This schedule ain't easy. Because we had 2 on Wednesday, then Thanksgiving off, and then 2 yesterday, 2 today.
Oof.
Wow.
Wait, so is that like 8 shows?
You do 8 shows a week on the Broadway.
But then with Thursday off, you had to squeeze a couple more. Wow.
To the holiday season was where just every schedule just loses their mind.
I bet.
Doing like 12 shows straight or 14.
Wow.
Some shows are doing 19 straight.
Houseway. That's crazy.
Damn.
Wow.
I'm in awe. Like the amount of stamina and just vocal projection that you have to have, and the consistency. Houseway. How does that work?
I think about that on a daily basis. Like, how did I get here? I've been doing theater since I was 10.
Wow.
So like, went to school for it, moved to New York and doing all that jazz. So I've done the HO a week schedule, and that's what I was used to professionally. And but it's just now that I'm like older, I'm kind of like, why are we doing that? That's it's like one of those things where you realize that like the way you did a chore, something that happened in your house growing up, you get older, you're like, okay, that wasn't okay.
It's like, who signed up for this?
like children shouldn't be picking their switches. I did it, but so and at this point,
not revealing the childhood Black trauma on the podcast.
All right. So the HO week schedule now just feels very antiquated, but like I'm of a certain generation where like that's all that I knew. So I'm like,
right.
But now I'm kind of like, all right, y'all, let's calm down with these 8 shows a week. It really should be 6, truly.
That part.
Consistency.
Not to the fans.
Yeah, for sure.
They say, get your ass up there and sing, Playboy.
Hey, man, time to go to work.
Right. Him have 15 jobs. I think I know
2 jobs.
And then you just like rely on your training for the consistency and hope for like a little special something during each show to make it feel a little different, whether it be someone you know in the house or
Yeah.
you know, one of our covers being on, which always like spices things up, and
Yeah.
you know, you forage every
With
day.
little pieces. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the night we came and saw the show was the Black Queer Night. And
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That was a good thing.
and that
It was a good
like,
show. It was a good show.
it was just cool to be in an environment, and like we talked about a couple episodes ago, but it was cool to be in an environment where it was that Black and queer, and there was still, you know, sprinkling some white folks in there, but that made it even more enjoyable because we could really show out and they can't say shit.
Y'all can't say shit. Don't even try it.
Yeah.
And like just that energy that night. So like, was that night, was it palpable? Was it like tangibly different, or were you just like so in the zone that you're like, okay, we got through another show?
I think, I mean, it was there's always a difference when there's a certain amount of us in the house.
Yeah.
I think yes, it was palpable, but I think that we underestimated how much we needed that night. The cast
Ooh.
was very revitalizing.
Mhm.
But I think for me going into it, I think I was tired.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of just like, great. Hopefully the audience will be there. And like by the end of the first number, I was like, okay, great. This is what we needed.
Yeah.
It was such a great night. And I told our producers, I was just like, this should have been happening every third Thursday of the month. Letting y'all know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing another one. We're doing a Black theater night next Tuesday
Okay.
that Trevor Noah's hosting.
Oh, I did see
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. I'm sure it'll still be very queer, but it's not specifically a Black queer night, just a Black theater night.
Right.
But those things it was great. It was a fantastic night. It really was.
Yeah.
It was.
Because I know we was clapping,
We was hooting and hollering, screaming.
Was that your first time seeing the show?
Yes.
Oh yes.
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 And now I want to try to go see it again because like I know that it's
Yeah.
closing in January, so I'm like, shit, I need to get back.
Yeah,
out there
we
and
need
see
to
that shit.
make it
for
happen.
Sure. You need to come
Like-
on back. I'm sure that you should see more than once, I think. There's a lot of things
1000%.
you missed the first time.
So like you've been involved with this show for over a decade, right? Or just around
Yes.
a decade.
A decade.
How like have you always been Thought 5? And then no, okay.
No.
Ooh.
So I got recommended to Michael via a mutual friend in 2012. And it's hard to say like what, because the idea of like them being named the Thoughts didn't come in really until like, I want to say 2013, 14.
Okay.
But essentially, up until 2016, I was what we're going to call Thought 6.
Okay.
So I was Josh Litt, the subway guy, and Inwood Daddy.
Okay.
And then things happened. I had to go away and do some jobs and things like that. And that's when Antoine came in. And I think Antoine answered a lot of questions for them in terms of what they were looking for and came in to put his magic on it.
Yeah.
And they came to me and they were like, we're going to switch you to Thought 5. At that time, they had kind of let go of some people, some longstanding members. And Thought 5, they had was someone they needed answers to questions. And they were like, we need someone with your skill set to help us answer the questions. So we're going to put you in Thought 5. And I was just like, okay, do I still get to keep Josh Litt? They're like, yes. And I was like, all right, cool. They were like, if you did, and I was like, oh, I would have been out.
Done. Bye.
I'm not taking Josh Litt away from me.
Right.
I'm not gonna take two things away from me now.
Right.
So that's when I became like Thought 5 and came into that track with the expansion or the exploration and expansion of the dad.
Okay. Oof. And that's a powerful role, honestly. Oh.
With Thought 5,
Uh-huh.
what did you find was one of the most challenging things to kind of transition to when you transitioned into Thought 5?
It actually ended up, the minute I started was in Thought 5, it felt more of a fit.
Mhm.
In with Daddy, where I just done it, but I was kind of like, there were certain aspects of me as an instrument that didn't make Inwood Daddy pop as much as it should be. With Thought 5, I think the hardest thing was making sure and fighting for the middle of the line-ness of the dad, because he's not a fire and brimstone, I'm gonna whip your ass, get the fuck out. He's not that,
Right.
but he's also not like what my dad is, who was very much like, be you.
Yeah.
You're perfect the way you know. I think a lot of fathers, and what I've seen and watched, and are people who don't realize that they're homophobic. Or like his dad is the kind of dad that's kind of just like, I don't care that you gay, just don't be no bottom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Damn.
You know?
Like, just don't be that gay.
Right. And
old-fashioned toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know, but the thing about his dad is that, like, unlike the mother, anytime we hear the dad, he's at the very least, he's always asking a question.
That's a true
He's
statement.
always trying to figure out who his child is. His questions are problematic.
That part.
And so when he realizes that those questions are harmful, he freaks out, because now he has no more tools to help his child. He doesn't know what to do now, because I thought that I was, at least, because your mom's not asking you questions. She's telling you you're going to hell.
Yeah.
I think that was fighting for that and sticking to my guns about that. And then with Joshlet, just like, Joshlet is kind of the subway scene is kind of a social experiment in a way. I view it as that, because it kind of proved my point. There's a lot of get your gotchas in that scene. And it to me highlights how little audiences across the board of all identities are trained to automatically go with someone on a journey unless they're a white man.
That's a whole word.
We had to put in the script what Joshlet is.
Yeah.
Because no matter how amazing you are, if you walk on, they're gonna see that. So with the Getcha Gotcha is, I walk on, you see me,
right?
You see Usher, and you think one thing: oh my God, look at this amazing rom-com scene of Black love. Then, damn, I'm fake.
You in your throat.
Right?
Definitely got.
Right.
I definitely got.
Right. But it only works because the thing is, I'm not going to go on there and do like a white guy voice, right? Something like that. But if we didn't put that in there, I don't care what anyone said. They're going to, besides his name being Joshlet.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised at how many people were like, wait, he was, unto this day, people were like, wait, he was white? I'm like,
it's like this, the dude name was Jocelyn.
but it's no different than like if I were to like play Hamlet and the two people are white, audiences would be like, wait, let me just reconfigure my mind to make this work. Whereas if you're a white guy, you can say I'm a frog, you can say I'm Meryl Streep, and we're like, okay, great.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a true
so
that was the hardest thing, like finding the right thing where we're going through with integrity, but also like not spoon feeding things. Like there are some like Easter eggs in that scene when he says he went to New Trier in Winnetka. Like, you know, that's not it's not Cast Tech, you know.
Winnetka.
Not Cast Tech though. That's
something you had mentioned earlier in talking about the Black Queer Night was that as a cast, that was something that you all needed. And one of the things that is just so wonderful about A Strange Loop is how you all tackle so many very tough and personal aspects of being Black and queer, and not even talking about physical beauty and physical standards of beauty. And so I'm just thinking back to, talk me through a little bit of what that night meant for you as a cast.
I think we're at the point in our run where at a certain level it's become definitely a job, and that's for varying degrees. It's different for people.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a point where we were all kind of feeling a little disjointed and disconnected. So that was really great.
Yeah.
But it was also, to be honest, there was also, if I can be, there was also loud ass Negroes. There was also we all came in kind of being like, what's this about to be? Because the outreach to the community for us has not been as exceptional as it could be.
Got it.
Okay.
So for me, I was kind of just like, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to be fully out there, kind of like, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. And my first I came in being just so petty. I was kind of like, and if this is awesome, then I'm definitely going to be like, so y'all put this together in like how many days? And you telling me that this is just now the first time that we're doing this? So you see, so like no matter what, it could have gone awry, it could have gone great. I was still gonna be like, I got notes.
Right.
But it went great. So it was like it was awesome. It was, but it also was one of those things too where I think that people are still vastly misinformed about how little Broadway is accessible.
Mm.
That's a true
So,
statement.
And one other statement that people always ask me, they're like, what is it like? Isn't it hard like performing this show for white people? I'm like, I mean, I've been doing theater since I was 10. You're always doing a show for white people.
Period.
They're always in it.
That's never like that's it could be Lion King or like you're not like that's just not a thing.
Yeah.
So kind of like
unless it's a Tyler Perry show.
I mean, but it's also weird too because you're watching like I'm black, I'm black with you tonight. There were still like a lot of white folks in the house.
Oh,
A lot.
But the thing that's crazy is watching, particularly with this show, because Black queer culture is pop culture and it has been for years and years and years and years and years and generations. Watching the confidence level of hip white folks in their faces go down when they realize how little, because the thing is, a lot of them don't even realize that the vernacular they're saying is Black queer vernacular.
Right. Right.
So it's not abnormal to see a bunch of white folks, especially younger, just out there with it, honey, knowing everything, and then something happens, and then they're like,
"It's like, oh,"
and I'm like, "Yeah, you're not Black."
Yeah.
So that's also very interesting to watch, like the very specific moments.
Yeah.
And watching those white audiences realize how much that they ingest is from the Black community and the Black queer community, and how little they know about Blackness in general.
That part of it. That's what I was like watching, because like even like there was like two guys next to us. Like I grew up in the church. My parents are pastors.
Yeah.
And so even those little nuances where I'm sure they didn't even know that like it was a Black church culture moment. It was cool to see them try to hop on with like the clap and everything like that. That's what I enjoyed the most too. It's just like people watching to see if they're gonna catch it or not catch it. It's like, oh, they ain't caught it, or oh, damn, he did catch it. Okay, you let him at the right part.
It's true.
I just want to give you some flowers, because oftentimes we don't see honest, earnest portrayals of Black characters.
Yeah.
Forget about, even through the medium of plays or, whatever this industry of Broadway is. And just the earnestness of your delivery and sharing your craft in such a way. Backstory, I heard of A Strange Loop.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I kind of tagged it as, I definitely need to check that out kind of thing. Right. But it was only within the last, I would say, probably 3 months that this has happened. So it had been around for a long time and I never heard of it. So that's on me. But then, hearing that there was going to be a Black queer night
Yeah.
And I heard it just by following Bob the drag queen. I was like, oh, definitely we need to make this happen. And then not having any context for what the play was really about, other than it was being Black and queer.
Right.
And that's where my coins are going to support, us contributing to our own culture and representing our culture was really important. But then getting there and being able to experience the storytelling and being able to see you specifically give such a strong portrayal of very complex character tropes.
Yeah.
In your mesh underwear at that too.
Not gonna lie, that was icing on the cake.
I'm just saying.
But I just say all that to say that first, I just thank you for blessing us with your craft and being able to give so much of yourself into that role, because it definitely resonated. I don't consider myself an avid Broadway goer, like one that knows every song to all the da-da-da-da-das that are out there. But it's so gratifying to see the caliber of talent that's on that stage. And you're definitely, just one of many stars that was on that stage. And I just so appreciate what you were able to give. And thank you.
I really appreciate that. That means a lot. I say all the time that I'm like in a constellation up there every night, which is so great. And, this my mother said something that like stuck with me after she saw the show for the first time at Off-Broadway. And she was just like, I can't believe that someone's allowed my baby to like bring everything of him.
Yes.
Like I love my career. I'm very proud of my career. But I think the thing that's so important to me is that like I don't have the exact same experience. Like I wasn't a church kid.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up in church, and my relationship with my parents is the exact opposite, which aids in me being able to do the show 8 times a week, because there's nothing being kicked up with me.
Right, there's no trauma.
That way.
Yeah,
it's a blessing,
regurgitated.
But why I connected to it when I first read it and when I first came involved in it is, I wasn't a church kid, but I was still what my dad calls an FMSTA, Futurist Things of America. I was still that, I was still in my room, lip syncing to whoever I want, trying to be Anita Baker. I was still the one who was scared. Right. I was still the one who was scared to extend their arms and make sure that this didn't go past a certain end. Like I would just one of the boys, the little black gay boys. I have all those things and those insecurities and those journeys of watching the world subtly and not so subtly tell you that like whatever you are, you got to figure that out, because this ain't that. So it was the first time that I was able to freely break out of that and be able to use all aspects and colors of my said rainbow, from comedy to drama to mask to femme to dance, to be able to just sit there and do great scene work, to not have to then scream my face off and just sing in a range that I speak in instead of trying to be a tenor in this.
I love his deep voice, because people talk about, girl, you got a deep voice. I'm like, no, this Playboy got a deep voice.
It was so great to like not have to sing above a certain note and be like, I'm good. I'm not waking up being like, So that's why it's important to me, because it was a space that allowed me to utilize all of the tools that I have in my toolbox in such a great way, alongside 6 other people who are doing the same thing, but with different tools.
Yeah. So,
and boy, did you show up.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Yes.
So the show is ending, January 15th, right?
Yeah.
So Community, you have, what is it, about a month and a half left.
And look, Broadway's expensive, but there are options.
And Christmas is around, the holidays are here. Ask for it. But like, this is what I want for the holidays.
There's follow the Instagram page. There's always something you can see. I was talking to a friend the other day, and she was like, I can't afford Broadway. I was like, no, girl, you just don't want to see Broadway unless you're in the premium seats. You can
Yeah.
see Broadway if you want to, but you
Yeah.
got expensive taste. So if you want to see the show, you can see the show.
You can see the show. What are you taking away with you from this show now? Now that you know there's a finite dead like timetable and you've been with this for the last decade of your life. Like
Yes.
that's huge.
What am I taking away? A lot of things. I'm taking away in no particular order that I've learned that I'm a very ferocious protector. I'm taking away the knowledge of the power of what happens when people, colleagues say yes to each other over and over again. You know, and not after they've become to a certain level, like beforehand, before the glow up, you know. There's power when the homies work together. I have learned that I deserve to be on zero and in front. I have learned that sometimes the opinion of something that you create that is dissenting is the one you're going to learn the most from. Meaning, I've learned more about the piece from people who didn't necessarily care for it in ways that have benefited me in the piece. I've learned that. I've learned that although part of my training and work ethic has come from maybe some trauma, it has created a consistent and resilient artist and employee that I'm very thankful for.
Okay.
And I have also learned, and I touched on this earlier, I have learned that the parts of my upbringing, not being a church kid, having a great relationship with my parents in terms of my sexuality, things that I felt for some reason or felt weird about or self-conscious about that I let make me feel not down enough or whatever, are the exact same things that are allowing me to do this show. They're the exact same things that prove to me that I am an example of what it should be and could be for everybody in these spaces.
And that there's no shame in that. It's like
there's no shame in that, you know. And I also have learned that, like, when people say that their gratitude is based out of just like how it affects people and inspires people, it's so not a cliche. It's so not a cliche. Like, the amount of people that I've encountered that where they say it saved their life, or it's reintroduced them to theater, or it's introduced them to theater, or they truly feel seen, or they didn't realize how unseen they were. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming.
Wow.
Really is.
With the show closing in January, do you have any projects on the horizon that you'd like to share or that you can share?
I can share this, but it's a little nebulous because I don't know. So I was on a show called Only Murders in the Building, the second season, starring Selena Gomez and Martin Short and Steve Martin. And I just found out that I will be coming back.
Hey!
Yay!
Probably more so now that the show is closing. I think they were kind of like, we'll bring it back for a couple of episodes because the show is supposed to be open, and they, you know, but now that it's not, they're like, great.
We can give them some more roles here.
Yeah.
Squeeze a little more juice.
And then truly, besides me knowing that that's going to happen, I don't know in what capacity. I could not make it through the season because, you know, it's Murders in the Building, or I could be
the murderer.
Yeah. You know, so I'm looking forward to that, and then just, you know, auditioning my butt off and trying to. I'm also in a place now. I'm kind of like I think I'm good on that aspect. Like, something's going to, you know, pop up for sure.
What are
I'm
you
not going to be wanting for that happening.
What are you looking for in like your next opportunities? And I say opportunities with an S because I'm sure that
Yes.
speaking abundance into your professional life. But
I'm looking for checks.
I know that's right.
Get them coins, honey. Get them coins, honey. Make sure that direct
coins.
deposit is in.
Right. I'm looking for just overall more TV and film experience, because after Playwrights Horizons is when I started really booking a lot of TV and film because of Strange Lou.
Yeah.
Which, fun fact, I remember the first time I read the subway scene, I said to myself, I go, if you do what you play your cards right, and this comes to production and you get to do this particular subway scene, this will be the springboard for TV and film. And I was right.
Yeah.
So I've been able to do that, but I want to do more. I want to learn more about that. So checks and that. And then with theater, I don't know. I definitely know with theater that I need to not sing and dance for a while.
She said, "Let me just out."
He said, "Let give a bitch a break."
If I want to be able to continue doing it and love doing it, I need to.
You need a little moment.
She said, "I want to be a private dancer."
Right. I've been, and I'm tired. I'm about to be 33. I'm tired.
I don't want to sing no more.
I mean, and if it is, I'm like, I told someone the other day, they were like, "Do you want to sing a song?" I was just like, "I'm not singing above this note."
Yeah. I get that. So, okay, I know we got to get you out of here. So quickly, we kind of, with a lot of guests, play just a quick little game, and it's like a rapid fire.
I love rapid fire. It's my favorite.
So here we go. Okay. Wicked or Rent?
Wicked.
Lion King or Cats?
Lion King.
Period. The Wiz or The Wizard of Oz?
The Wiz.
Okay, I mean, some people like The Wizard of Oz.
I do. The Wiz.
Period. Let's see here. Who is your Mount Rushmore of Broadway?
Meaning I have to pick 4?
4.
Audra.
Period.
Ruben Santiago Hudson.
Ooh, okay.
Elaine Stritch.
Okay.
And Bill Irwin.
Oh, okay now. Let's see here.
I'm gonna have to look some of these people up.
Who the fuck is that?
Like,
you don't have to look up Audra, do you?
No.
Okay,
no.
Okay.
That's a name that I know.
Porgy and Bess or A Raisin in the Sun?
Raisin in the Sun.
Let's see here. Beyonce or Janet?
Janet.
Ooh.
Always and
Ooh.
Always love, but Beyonce would pick Janet.
Period. Exactly. She came first and did it crazily. Okay. Let's see here. Out of all
literally.
Janet. Period. He said, in community, if you ain't watching this on YouTube, you need to watch this on YouTube. He showed a painting of Poetic Justice, Janet, with the box braids, Janet.
Right, yes.
Out of all of Audra's 6 Tonys, which one is your favorite?
Her and Carousel, because it's the first time I saw her.
Got it. And your face lit up too. You're like, ooh, that's a good memory.
I love it so much. I love that woman so much. She's just bees knees. I think she's everything.
Have you met her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's cool.
Oh, that's good.
Cool.
That's good.
It's great.
Jason, we appreciate you. Like,
thank you so much.
You could have said, hell no, I don't know who your heifer's at. I don't know who you are.
Thank y'all. I really appreciate it.
And reaching out, you were very kind and quick with it. You like, and he was saying, and I don't know, Dewan, if you saw the DMs, he was sending with the voice message memos too, with that deep ass voice. I was like, ooh, okay.
I might have listened to them a couple of times.
I'm lazy, and I want people to understand my intention.
Yes,
that's what you got to do.
You got to do. So I'm a voice text person.
We appreciate you. We wish
you
nothing but success. Thank you for taking time on this crazy week to do this. And you always got supporters in us, so we're excited to see what's next for you. Honestly.
Come back soon. Come back again. Come back again.
Yeah, and literally
I'd love to.
next project, you're welcome back anytime.
Okay, I promise you I will.
Perfect. We appreciate you, boo.
Thank you.
And then, community, we're going to take a quick little tea break. We interrupt this episode for very important information.
That's right. You've been asking for it for a long time, and we have heard you.
Yep, it's been a long time coming, but it's finally here.
Yo,
aunties
got
merch! Hey, that's right. You know what? We got tees, we got long tees, we got sweatshirts, we got fanny packs, there's just a whole gamut of stuff out there. So go and check that out.
We are so appreciative of your love and support, and we are so excited to launch it. Girl, where can we find us at?
Ma'am, they can head right over to minoritareport.com to check out the selection.
That's right. That's MINORITEA report.com.
Woo! I'm about to go get me some myself. Did you guys watch the AMAs by any chance? Like in all the hoopla and the craziness that's kind of coming out of it now?
Girl. No.
It's like, I don't be watching that shit.
Girl, really?
No.
I still enjoy them for the most part. Like I've probably said it many times every time it's like award season. Realize I'm getting to that age where I'm like, who is it? Who is that? I'm like, I don't know half these people. But I did become a fan of one girl. She's bisexual. Her name's, I think, Dove Cameron or something like that. And she has a song called Boyfriend. And it, she can sing. She almost kind of feels like the lane of a Billie Eilish, but like a stronger singer. Billie Eilish can sing, but like she's not like the most powerful singer. So she's probably in that same lane, and a little more power than her. And I like that she's leaning into like that she likes girls. Like at that age, she looks like she's maybe 18, And I'm like, that's cool that this generation is feeling freely to have pop music be about like who they really into. It doesn't have to be like, I got a crush on a boy. She's like, no, like I could be your boyfriend, and guess what? My clothes fit. Like that's like the hook of the song. I was like, that's a bar. I was like, okay. But other than that, I was like, I don't know who these other people are.
Yeah, I'm at that stage. It's like there are these people that are like on the red carpet and it's like, who is this?
It's like, ain't it a school night?
Take your ass to bed.
Right?
Yeah.
But I did like Cardi and Glorilla. I like Glorilla. She's so Memphis. Have you heard Glorilla? Yeah. Oh, you haven't landed? Look her up. Like, play her music. She got like I forget the name of the song right now. It's like starting to like bubble up pretty big now. It reminds me of like late 90s Memphis hip hop.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you can tell she's so Memphis, like from that same like 3-6 Mafia, Gangsta Boo, like kind of vibe, but still mixed with like the today's like rappers or whatever, female rappers. So that one was dope because like it's the same team that does like all the Megan Thee Stallion stuff, all the Beyonce stuff, all the Cardi stuff. It's like the same crew. They get the same dancers and just be killing it, So it's just interesting to see Beyonce's like lane branching out, and they're making everyone's standard go up.
Yeah, I love the fact that musicians today, even though there's a lot that I'm like, where'd you get your start? TikTok? Okay. But I love the fact that a lot of the music that's coming out now from like newer artists doesn't feel exploitive.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about it. Like, I kissed a girl and I liked it, and it's just like, okay, that's cute.
So
and
you
all,
really
and
kissing girls
people
though?
Right.
No.
It just doesn't. But the music today doesn't feel exploitive, or if it is exploitive, it's self-exploitive. It's I'm doing this for myself because this is the kind of music that I want. And I love the fact that a lot of people are having non-traditional ways into the music industry, so they're finding their own way without having to have a studio to, or record label to, try to manipulate how they are presented. So I love that.
Yeah, I agree. And it takes out a lot of the middleman. I mean, and there's still a lot of the same kind of stuff out there that we've dealt with forever in the history of music.
Mhm.
But I agree. There's somewhere it's just like even like this Dove girl again. Like it's just like I believed her. I believe
Yeah.
that, you know what, I'm gonna steal you from your boyfriend. You're gonna like my closet. You know, we the same size. You know, it's like because the line goes, I could be a better boyfriend. I don't need to tell you twice. All the ways he can't suffice. If I could give you some advice, I would leave with me tonight. And then it says, where's the clothes fit? Like, it says, plus all my clothes would fit. I'm like, fire. Whoever wrote that, fire. I'm here for
Wait
it.
a minute. Not Glorilla finding out that ham is pork, though.
Oh, God, Glorilla.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
I saw that. It was like scroll.
Right. Keep scrolling. But like the big, I guess, maybe controversy of the show, maybe before we get into that, they gave the Icon Award to Lionel Richie. So that was kind of fire to see. Stevie Wonder. It was Smokey kind of presented, and then Stevie with Charlie Puth kind of did like the songs to him. And to me, it's just mind-boggling to see a Lionel, a Stevie, and a Smokey all on stage, still giving each other, you know, props and knowing each other for like the last damn 60 years, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, that's black excellence. Shit, like.
Lionel still look good. Okay,
Right?
Cat Daddy.
Right? I'm like, okay, Lionel.
I mean, he has had a little work done. I see them cheeks are feeling a little extra plump, and them eyes are looking little cowardly lionish.
You know.
But he still looks good.
He got that fresh dye job too.
Girl. There is something about being a celebrity and over 45. That hair be shellac black. It'd be like my shirt.
Right.
No dimension, no nothing. Just this. What is that stuff that they use in the South? The Beijing?
I don't
Not
know.
the South. I'm sorry. I think they use it in Detroit.
And Cleveland.
That's that stuff that they put on that's the stuff they put on what's his face on Jermaine Jackson's forehead. They'll be carving out the square right here. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Let me do it this way because I got a whole lot of forehead. But he looks good. And if you like it, I love it, baby.
Honey. It's like I want that Jermaine Jackson.
Coming in like
I mean, that's how some of these wigs are starting to look with these baby hairs. They're not even baby. Like,
God.
that's a toddler.
Yeah.
Some preteen hairs. Shit.
I'll be glad when we get out of this little baby hair phase. I mean, everybody got baby hairs all over. There was a girl on Instagram, no, on Twitter, and she had baby hairs tattooed on her skin.
Girl.
Yeah. Yes.
We know
Tattoo,
how to take
just,
shit too far sometimes.
Like, okay.
We know how to take shit too far. Oh, wow.
So did you watch the entire AMAs or did you just like catch how was the production value? Like,
it was fine.
How was it the overall performance?
Pink opened the show. Pink was fire. Pink was the highlight of the night.
Did she fly across the stage?
She was roller skating.
Okay.
She roller skated into the stadium.
She's gonna give you some Cirque du Soleil.
Period. And the
One
song
way
is
or
cute.
another.
It's a nice little earworm of a Pink song. It's
Okay.
a standard Pink song that you're like, this bitch is still singing. She still sound good. She looked good. So that was dope. And then she also did a tribute to Olivia Newton-John. And like sang this shit. Like, because Olivia Newton-John isn't like a powerhouse singer. So to hear Pink sing Hopelessly Devoted to You, this was like, okay, actually this is kind of a bop of a song now, because like she was like singing it. I was like, okay. But overall the production
dress she has on.
Yeah. I don't like is it the beige one? With the,
it's
feathers?
like with the feathers, yeah.
I didn't like the arms on it.
Really?
Nah, it wasn't my favorite. It was fine.
She's looking a little.
Keep
that to myself.
You're right. Leaping.
I haven't, as you can
Leave
tell,
Pink
I have a
alone.
little bit. Girl, as you can tell, I haven't fully gone into my Dionne Warwick essence yet. I think I got
He has
another
a
5 more
moment of
years.
pause every now and then.
It's like, you can't say something nice.
Tell us after the podcast.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. Who's nice? Her man. God damn.
Oh, Carrie Hart.
He's fine.
Carrie Hart. He's handsome.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Brrr.
But so we were saying the production value. It was fine. It was fine.
How
it
did-
was,
how
it was
did Wayne
back to
Brady
like
do?
your normal award show setup. Like
Okay.
during the pandemic, we kind of gotten some diversity and creativity of what it could look like.
Yeah.
It was back to the standard now. Wayne Brady
How
hosted
did-
it, so
How did Wayne Brady do as
It
the
was fine.
host?
it was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Wayne Brady.
I keep forgetting he's out there.
Damn.
And then every once in a while he'll pop up like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, he's still out here
Still
doing
out
stuff.
here. I
Like,
guess he's
he
on that
ain't
Dancing with the
retired yet?
Stars show because like he did like a segment like towards the beginning of the show where he had his dance partner there and he kind of did like a little
okay.
heat count and whatever, blah 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 blah. And actually, I think the night that we're recording, a part of this episode at least, a part of recording, I think it's the finale today against Shangela. I think Shangela's in the
Ooh.
final
Okay.
from Drag Race. So I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So, but let's see what else. There was this lady that was singing Yola.
Mm.
This black
be
lady
looking at me.
that was singing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Yola, Yola. She was dope. She had, and it was just like basic setup. Band. She had a little tambourine in her hand. Kind of looked like a little Miami Vice background. And she was just singing. I was like, okay, you dope. So I'm glad she kind of got to highlight her singing because the rest of the show was back to the people that can't really sing. You'd be sitting there like, ooh, like Anita was lip syncing again. And
Oh, really?
I mean, I like Anita, but like performance wise, like
Mm.
she lip syncs every time, and then like she'll like take away the mic and the words are still going. You're like,
Shut up. Are you serious?
dead ass. Like Corey and I were looking at each other. We're like, you gotta at least finish the sentence. Pretend you're finishing the sentence before you bust out into your dance routine.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah. So, but then Missy's on one of her songs. So Missy came out. Missy's still
Yeah.
top tier performer. Like
She just,
she
I
really
saw a
made
picture of
everyone
her
look like
earlier
Boo-Boo.
today, and she is the Benjamin Button
yeah,
of
yeah.
the music industry. Because like, how is it that she looks younger
Yeah.
today than what
Yeah.
she looked at when she first came out?
Yeah.
It's wild.
And she done
It's
lost
wild.
a lot of weight again. Like, I'm like, ooh, she's skinty. Go ahead. Okay. Get your fitness plan. Shit.
Uh-huh.
Let me step my game up. But what else? That's about it, honestly. And then Taylor Swift won a whole bunch, and I was sitting there like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I never will. I'll never get it. I guess.
I get it, but
what
I
is
don't.
it? No, I said what I said. I still don't get it. What is the appeal? Can someone, and I'm not trying to be shady, but what is the appeal? Like, what is it about her? Is it about her? Is it about her voice? Is it about her lyrics? Like, what is it? Can someone educate me, please?
I feel like white people need a Beyonce, even if they don't have one.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Okay.
anoint one, and then they're gonna ride hard for that one.
You might
Like-
be right on that.
Because I still see like Megan Trainor doing the whack-a-mole popping up every once in a while. I'm like, this bitch
I
still
got
out
the
here.
Gucci.
Like,
Yeah.
can you go back to Wendy's or something like?
I made you look.
alone. Just and these Swifties will ride hard for them.
Hard.
They will ride hard for some mayo on white toast. Like, just
Not even toast. Not even toast.
Not
Just
even
Wonder
toasted.
Bread.
Some stale,
That one,
some stale old piece of bread from the
damn.
from the day old pile.
yeah, they will stand. I'm like seeing all these things about people like, oh yeah, saving up all my coins for the Taylor Swift concert. So really?
Yo, pennies.
People at work were going so hard trying to get those tickets.
Mm,
And
okay.
like, and part of me is just like, what? Like, I almost want to go to see what the fuck I'm missing. Like, y'all going this hard and spending that much coin? Like, I must be missing something.
No.
Like, because I'm lost.
Like I
right
said,
now.
I still just don't get it. I don't understand. I will say that there is one album that I think it came out in 2017.
The only
that
one
was
that
good.
I gave a full listen through was like the 1989 or whatever.
That
Yeah.
that might have been it.
That album. I was like, okay.
No, that's not it. Reputation 2017.
Oh, see, yeah,
I thought
that's right.
Reputation was actually really good, but it wasn't like DeWong, you're right. White folks need their version of Beyonce, but that ain't it. Come on now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, Reba
Could that at least be
McEntire ain't
Tina
making no
Marie?
music.
Wait. Carell, what'd you say?
I said, could it at least be Tina Marie?
No, she got too much. She got too much of us in her.
I
Literally.
guess.
Literally.
Too much Rick in her.
Right, exactly. That fire and ice then burnt out.
No more fire and desire. That desire gone.
Oh my God. I remember
Rest in
watching,
peace.
I think it was like
Rest
the
in peace,
Soul
Tina.
Train. Girl, I remember watching, I think it was like either the Soul Train Music Awards
the
or
BET
the
Awards.
BET Awards when they brought them out before they both, you know, bit the big one. And they were out there in the audience singing at each other like two crackheads. I was like, what in the 149th and Clarence is going on?
You looking like your two drunk aunt and uncles. Be like,
Right.
somebody gonna put them to bed.
Please.
Not 149th. That's a New York reference, y'all. Y'all, that's a New York reference. If you don't know, find out.
Done. But
Wow.
but then we could get to Chris Brown. So I didn't even know he was supposed to perform until like it blew up on social. But clearly the audience knew, because when Kelly Rowland walking all fine and delicious out there, she is so fucking pretty.
I love you,
She
Kelly.
is insane.
Yeah.
Her skin tone, too
Yeah.
much for me. I was like, you better walk out on this stage, bitch. Like with that blunt body. Oh, it was perfection. But she had to get the crowd right together because they were booing because he won Best R&B Album, I think it was.
Well, I think it was because he didn't show up.
No,
Is that what they were booing over, though?
No. Well, they told him not to show up.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
canceled-
Okay.
They
Well,
canceled his
he was-
performance like 2 days
He was
before.
supposed to do a tribute to Michael Jackson, and
Right.
apparently the story goes that the AMAs didn't want someone who was who has a violent past as an abuser to give a tribute to somebody that was accused of molesting children.
Right.
Is the story, and so they said you won't be doing the performance.
So, but like, it's just like, who decided that initially to invite him? Because like it had all these dancers, had the choreographers, had Sierra going to be a surprise. Like, so the ball was rolling. So it must have been too much hoopla behind the scenes. People saying, no, I don't want him. That they said, you know what, let's pull the plug 2 days before the performance. So today on social, you saw everywhere, like all the choreographers and dancers putting up their like, and even Sierra putting up like footage of them practicing for that performance, because it's the 40th anniversary of Thriller for Michael Jackson.
Right. Yeah.
So,
And if there
I
was
don't
anybody out there who was going to do a tribute,
know. Oh God, yeah,
it was going to be Chris Brown.
1000%.
You can't have anybody else.
I
mean,
agree.
Really, though?
There ain't gonna be who.
yeah, who?
Neo?
Bye, girl, bye.
Girl, I was waiting for you to say Taylor Swift.
Neo would be like, "She's out of my life. She's out of my life."
Maybe Genuine get up there and do some dance.
No,
moves,
no,
like,
no.
come on.
He said Neo.
And said it with his chest.
Neo?
I love it.
I
love
like
it.
Neo, but not for that.
Yeah,
Not for
no.
that.
I guess
No,
I'm not.
if-
Okay, help me understand. Help me understand why not. The dance moves?
The dance moves, the whole thing.
It's the energy. It's
Yeah.
the energy.
Okay,
it's the
okay.
gravitas.
But
It's the
if-
stage
I guess-
presence.
I guess if you know that Chris Brown is problematic, why would you invite him to begin with and not?
But that is truly.
That's
That's
the
what.
part.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
the
That's what
part.
I'm saying.
So and
like,
then to make him look like the fool, it's like, no, y'all chose him.
Yeah.
And then now you're trying to throw it back on him. Which I get it. He's problematic and stuff like that. He's had a habitual nature of this problematic shit.
Is he problematic though?
I don't think as much as anymore. I think he has grown finally up.
Yeah, like
but that perception of him still follows him, and sadly so, and that's unfortunately sometimes life. But
in this case, the AMAs are they're the ones that invited him. So like,
exactly.
If you knew that, again, if he was, whether he has rightfully earned that reputation or not, whether that's, being projected on him, if you know that he's problematic, why invite him to begin with? And like, if you're going to do a tribute, was someone not thinking ahead, like putting the 2 and 2 together? Like, okay, I said Neo just because I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, why Chris Brown in the fact that that he's problematic? Why not get somebody else? Well, obviously someone was not thinking ahead.
And nobody else could dance. No one can outdance Chris Brown.
That's fair. Yeah, for sure.
And it was going to be dope to see
I just
Sierra
feel like,
with him too. That's fire. That would have been fire.
Wait, Dewan, what'd you say?
I just feel like this was a white decision.
1,000.
I feel like this was a white decision because this reeks of like uber wokeness. Like, oh well, we don't want to get backlash because we're doing this. So why don't we just not put it even out there and we'll just pull it back. And I could be wrong, but if there were black people making this decision, he would have been up there and it would have been fire.
Yeah.
It would have been fire.
So I'm hoping the BET Awards say, y'all keep that same choreography, come back to BET Awards next summer. We'll do it.
That would be dope.
Like,
that
I want to see the routine. Because it looked like it was about to be fire.
So I wonder how the finances work on something like that.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because
the dancers get paid,
right? Because like when you get booked for that show, then do you foot the bill for all the production value that brings with it, or do you get a budget from the show?
You get a budget from the show, but then
to put the stuff together.
If you don't end up doing it, is it like an all or nothing clause, or do you get a percentage? Maybe I'm thinking it's like
if they canceled it, I have to imagine that they just paid them out.
Yeah,
for sure. There's got to be some union stuff involved there, right?
Because Chris Brown and Sierra are gonna be fine. I'm talking about like Tiana.
Right. That's what we got.
Tiana in the third row back there killing it.
Yeah.
Like
there's
turned down that other gig for this.
There's got to be some contractual union stuff that like guarantees them that they get something. Like, you're not about to get me up here shaking my ass, wasting my time. I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's got to be something.
So like when they
and now we
that
miss out because we don't even.
Exactly, we miss out.
We miss out because now we don't even get to see what they put together.
Nope. And so that's the fireness of social media. Now we get to see the clips, and it looked like it was about to be it. Like, it was looking nice.
And this does raise a bigger question, which is how long do you hold a like a mistake?
I know.
And I'm not, listen to me carefully, because I'm not trying to downplay the severity of what happened, between him and Rihanna. But it's been damn near 30 years.
It's not been 30 years.
So
like 20.
It's been a while. So like, so what are we supposed to be like treating Chris Brown like we're treating R. Kelly? Because like, why does it stand here? Chris has been out there doing stuff this entire time. People buy his music, they go to his concerts, he's been on award shows and all this other kind of. So why now?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
maybe
get
it's the
it.
combination of him and Michael, the history.
I think it's
again,
a combination.
Why now? Like, and why? Clearly, you thought it was a good idea before a handful of people said I don't like it, and then you've had because like you're planning this shit for months. Like, this don't just like out the blue.
Like, did someone not put 2 and 2 together?
Or they didn't care.
That's why, again,
that's what it was.
This feels white to me.
White.
And so that's why Kelly had to get Mark together. She said, y'all chill. I was like, come on, Kelly.
You literally did the Oprah Winfrey, the Oprah Winfrey laughed at the kitchen table in Color Purple.
What she say? Ooh, I'm home now.
Pass me the peas. Yeah, that's a bullshit. That's some bullshit, and we all miss out on it because that could have been really, really something special. That could have been a huge moment.
It would have been the highlight of the night because the rest of it, like I said, was fine.
Yeah.
Pink was dope. The black lady, Yola, was dope. Cardi and Gorilla was just, that one's just like, it's just the hoodness of it and everything that was fire.
Mm-hmm.
After that, everything kind of blurred together. Even the Lionel section. I feel like the Lionel section would have probably been earlier in the show and they would have closed with Chris Brown and them.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they got rid of it, I feel like they moved him to the end and that was the show closer. And it didn't have the gravitas that it should have had. It felt like a middle of the show ending instead of the ending. So
that's whack. That's whack.
I was like, don't do that to Lionel.
Yeah.
I was like, come on now. So anyway, all right, you know what? Let's hop into the Ask the Aunties. So what time is it?
Ask
Your
Who has it? You want to do it later?
I'll read it.
Go for it, boo.
All right. Hey, aunties. I, a 48-year-old female, found my 14-year-old gay child Googling DILF. I tried to be casual and asked if there were any creepy older men in his life. He was embarrassed and said no. I said, okay, just making sure you're safe. Did I handle this right? Any suggestions for a parent new at this teenage thing?
And I'm assuming this potentially LGBTQIA plus teenage thing.
I'm sorry, but one does not instill like confidence and create connection by dogging the stuff that you found your little one searching on the computer, like asking if there was any creepy older men in his life, like
and of course he's gonna say no.
Right. I mean, he wasn't looking for what? Kilf?
Dilf dick.
Dilf. creepy dads. Like, come on. All I'm saying is I think you probably could have handled that the interrogation a little bit, or the investigation a little bit better. I think it probably is less about what he was searching, and more about creating a dialogue with your young gay child.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are gay for sure. That would have fostered a little bit better dialogue about things that they're curious in, and I don't know this. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just like, so it's the person is female 48.
Yeah, that's
and
the
she
mom
was having
and
this
the
conversation
son.
with her 14-year-old gay child. Yeah, I probably would have leaned less as hard on the DILF and the creepy older men stuff, and more on, just asking your child, how are they feeling? Is there anything that's changed? Do they have any questions? Like, have more of an open dialogue versus, injecting a little, and maybe that's just the way that the Ask Auntie question was worded, but injecting a little bit of judgment, in that, because there's nothing, any teenager, regardless of however they identify or haven't identified or don't know, they don't want their parents talking bad about anything they're into at all. Like, just, that's not the right move.
Yeah. And here's the thing, I don't have kids, so like I don't want to say, but like it's shit. Like I know that much better because I can barely take care of myself. But I feel like it might have been an opportunity to have like a little moment, just like, okay, like I don't know how to word it, but it's just like, what are you interested in? Why did you want to serve DILF? Like, where did you hear that? Like, what just kind of find out more the what and the why than just like creepy older men. Which is, I mean, eventually you can lead to that maybe better worded than that, just to ensure that he is safe and things like that, because there are some crazies out there. We know that for sure. But I think at that age, just gay or not, just 14-year-old male.
I am cringing. I'm sorry.
There's just a lot going on at that age.
I'm imagining my mom busting into my room saying, "Why are you looking up creepy old men on the internet?"
Well, I mean, like, I remember that age and coming up during the AOL times and going to them chat rooms and all that stuff. And
the chat rooms are fire.
Honey,
honey.
with the way that Twitter is going, we might go right back to that.
That's where, hey, come on, AOL, back at it.
Ooh, girl, that would be the comeback of the
That'd be kinda
century. Could you imagine? Oh my goodness, I need to buy some AOL
the
stock.
speed of the internet we got now, you get them pictures instantly.
Right.
So that. Don't let that shit freeze up where the phone ring.
Girl.
You know what really bothers me about this question is that the connection between DILF and creepy old men. Like it's that question and that judgment and that, like, so you automatically think that all DILFs are creepy old men.
No, but I think I get what she's saying though, because at 14 it is creepy. Don't let an older man and you go after a 14-year-old.
But I guess it in her mind, like, to ask that question is automatic. It, to me, just reeks of prejudgment. So I think I agree with both of you in that the phrasing of the question, like, hey, if, like, you're really gonna ask if there's any particular men in your life, then maybe asking, is there a man in your life? Is there something in your life? You know, there's a leadership principle called it's understand versus be understood. So why not ask questions that'll allow you to understand versus just making a judgment?
We are gonna call him Jan for now.
Oh, we bringing out leadership principles,
Right?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
You don't spend 20 years in HR.
Situational leadership. Is that what we're doing? Tell me about your strength finders.
You don't spend 20 years in HR without learning a few one-liners. But I guess just for me, I just try to come from a place of understanding and not asking just questions like that. It feels like there's some judgment in that question, and it's just like, why not ask, like, do you have a boyfriend, or like, or Carell, like you said, why not ask, like, why'd you
like what did
Google
you understand
DILF?
about DILF, or where did you hear that word DILF? You know, like that's where I would.
I think those are
like,
great.
Where did you hear that from? Like, because it could be like,
do you know what it
in a
means?
movie. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, now we do. He said Urban Dictionary, ma. So that's where I think I would have started at, instead of like you guys were saying, like, jump to like the very end that is a creepy old man.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Just doesn't.
But it's just like, but again, it's just like that
I just
age.
Googled DILF and went to images.
Oh,
okay.
That's why she said creepy old man.
Where's my glasses? Where are my glasses at?
It's some good.
No, girl.
Let's see.
Okay. Let me just take him.
Ooh. You see the Henry Cavill one at the top? Did yours come out Henry Cavill?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
what does that say? Nasty?
Okay.
Does it say nasty? Is that what that says?
I need to Google DILF more often too. Thank you, kid. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Who is this?
She might be onto something.
Ooh,
the dictionary has it as a sexually attractive older man, typically one who has children.
See, creepy old man. That's what she was. That's what she trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, how I like this one to send it to y'all. Hold on, we sidetrack community. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's stuff, and I memean, to me, sounds like you, at least on the path of being okay with his sexual status. You know, that because that didn't kind of come up at all. But but yeah, there's an opportunity, and just like you don't want to jump to too many conclusions. But I get on the flip side too that you do want to kind of make sure you're especially at that age, your kid is safe, because 14 to like 16, 17 is just a weird age.
It very much
it's
is.
just a weird age. Oh,
yeah,
it's just crazy. So yeah. So our suggestion is just like find out the whys, find out the whats, and it doesn't necessarily have to be some creepy old man, but I'm glad you're at least staying engaged somewhat somehow with your child, especially a gay child that's going to need some guidance. So hopefully we kind of provided you with something. And Ma, look up DILF on Google yourself, girl.
Yes, honey.
It's kind of nice.
That might be. Yeah.
And community, let us know, like, what are we missing? What are we missing? Is there, especially maybe for like our straight moms out there, what are we missing from your perspective that be kind of concerning for you, or not concerning, or how would you have handled it? That'd be kind of cool to let us know in the comments, or send us a reel or something like that on social media, so we could share that this week.
Or whoever wrote in this question would love to maybe get some context on what happened after you've listened to this podcast. If there's a follow-up conversation now that you've listened to some of the sillery that we just
as we over here drooling over these
right?
things.
Okay. Would love to hear about like maybe a follow-up as to this question, because they asked, did I handle this right? Well, the answer is no. So any suggestions for a parent new at this teenage thing? I mean, every teenager is different, so no matter what advice we give, everybody's different. We don't know your kid the way you do, so you got to handle that in a way that is unique to you and your relationship with your son. So I would love to get a follow-up, some after tea, if you will, on that.
So continue to send your questions to aya@minoriteareport.com or DM us. So yeah, that's it. Last week was Thanksgiving. What? Anything you guys learned about Thanksgiving last week? Nothing. But is there anything you're thankful for this year that might have been different in prior years? No. Just thankful to be alive.
I'm thankful that we're on this side of having the COVID vaccine, so we can actually have some semblance of normalcy, and being able to travel and being able to gather together in closed spaces. I mean, for 2.5 years that was not the situation, and being able to, I'm sure a lot of people are seeing family that they hadn't seen in a long time, and doing some traveling, and just being social now. Like that is, it's a godsend. And I know like a lot of families are still dealing with like sickness, and the kids are getting sick and upper respiratory infections and all this, that, and the other. And so just thankful to be healthy, alive, spend time with people that I care about. That's all I can ask for. What about y'all?
Landon?
A lot. Thankful for being kind of leading off of what Dewan gave, of just being able to feel optimistic about about 2 years ago this time, even a year ago this time, didn't necessarily know what the future looked like. So I feel a lot more optimistic about the future just in general, and just thankful for my family, my friends, new connections, stronger connections, and just thankful for my family and being able to be a little bit closer to them here in New York. So
yeah. I mean, same. I'm just grateful for and thankful for life, and like I haven't even shared. Do I? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't even tell y'all. Y'all didn't even know. My uncle passed 2 weeks ago, and his funeral was this past weekend. So it's just that stuff. When that happens, you're just like, eesh. It's a reminder that life is fragile and shit like that. So so just thankful to be breathing, healthy, at least as far as I know, not gonna win and all that stuff, and my immediate family for the most part healthy and alive. But when you kind of get that, you're just like, okay, life is a little tough sometimes. So yeah, so still here, still kicking with y'all and kicking with the community. And like you said, COVID's been crazy and it's still out here, but at least now we have the tools, couple more things in our tool belt to kind of get us through. So,
you know what else I'm thankful for?
What's that?
We got 200 episode coming
Honey,
up.
bitch!
Hey!
And if you're listening to this on Monday, tomorrow on Tuesday, Kick It With the Aunties, 200th episode, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's November 29th. So tomorrow, Tuesday, November 29th, kick it with us live for our 200th episode. Bring your wig, bring your tequila, bring your questions.
Yes.
And thank you, community, for that. And until then, ciao. Wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass. See ya next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.